Well, the slum board is also to demolish the slums in Jai Bhuvaneshwari Nagar, but the dwellers here are in a tense situation. Though they were promised new flats elsewhere, the residents have now accused the board of irregularities.
The High Court has ordered all the residents of Jai Bhuvaneshwari slum to vacate their homes. On the other hand, constructions of apartment complexes are underway at Kudlu to relocate the slum dwellers. But amidst all this, the 150 families facing demolition of their homes have received a shock. While the slum board upheld HC's order and stated that the slums should be demolished, many are yet to receive the possession letters for their flats in Kudlu. The slum board had prepared a list of 512 beneficiaries in 2008, but meanwhile the court intervened and now the order is in favor of the slum board. Surprisingly, a few names from the list have disappeared. But again, names of a few more people who were not residing at the slum in Jai Bhuvaneshwari Nagar have been included. The slum dwellers also allege that the officials have allotted the same flat to more than one beneficiary. Moreover, many have moved out of the slums in Jai Bhuvaneshwari Nagar since the fiasco a few weeks ago. The residents have stated that the names of these families too should be included in the list of beneficiaries.
ನಮಗೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನಂದರೆ ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಲಮ್ ಬರೋಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆನೇ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಸರ್. ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡೋರ್ ಲಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಡಿ ಎಲ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಲಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋರಿಗೆ ಹೊಸ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೊಸ ಲಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಸರುಗಳಿಲ್ಲ.
Meanwhile, the slum board have been accused of carrying out sloppy inspections. They visit the beneficiaries' residence when they are not home and strike their name off the list when the residence in the slum is not confirmed.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. 3 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗೆ ಊಟ ಇಲ್ದಿರ, ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಇಲ್ದಿರ ಅವರಿಂದ ನಾಯಿ ಥರ ಸುತ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ರಾಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಲೀಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಸರಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಾರೆ. 2 ಸತಿ ಮನೆ ಹತ್ರ ಬಂದರು, 2 ಸತಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ರಾಂಗು ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೋದ್ರು. ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಲೀಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ, ಅವರೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಲೀಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಸರಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಮತ್ತೆ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. 3 ತಿಂಗಳಿಂದ ಅವರಿಂದನೇ ಸುತ್ತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಆದರೂ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Alongside this, some have also accused the slum board of not completing the construction of these apartments in Kudlu, even though they have been asked to vacate the slum soon. But the slum board's executive engineer has stated that the problems will be solved in due time. All in all, the High Court has ordered the slum dwellers to vacate their homes, but the current situation is not in their favor. What remains to be seen is if the slum board will be able to bring things under control. Maltesh, News9, Bengaluru.
And well, the ruins of Hampi are not just a matter of pride for the state but the entire nation. The government's ambitious program to launch Hampi by night has not taken off in the desired manner, forcing locals to wonder why the government was so insistent on going ahead with the project in the first place.
The idea behind Hampi by night was to draw in more tourists both from India and overseas. It was launched with a lot of fanfare in 2010. The contract for executing the project was awarded to a Bengaluru-based private company called Innovative Lighting Company. The company in question did not have the expertise to handle a project of this scale. The estimated cost of the project was pegged at 11.5 crore rupees. And what is more glaring is the fact that the company managed to obtain a grant of 8 crore rupees before the project was completed, even though rules stipulate that the money could only be paid after the work was inspected by a third party.
2010ರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಪಿ ಬೈ ನೈಟ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಯೋಜನೆಯನ್ನು ಹಂಪಿಯನ್ನು ಜನಪ್ರಿಯಗೊಳಿಸಬೇಕು, ದೇಶ ವಿದೇಶಿಗರನ್ನು ಆಕರ್ಷಿಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಅಂದಿನ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಹಂಪಿ ಬೈ ನೈಟ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ 11.5 ಕೋಟಿ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬೆಳಕಿನ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿತ್ತು. ಆದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 8.5 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಾಮಗಾರಿ ನಡೆದಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆ ಒಂದು ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಇನ್ನೋವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 8.5 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಣವನ್ನು ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಪಡೆದಿದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲದಂಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಹಣ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನಾರ್ಹವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂಗತಿ.
In fact, alarmed at these kinds of inconsistencies, the then District Commissioner Amalan Aditya Biswas wrote to the government seeking a thorough probe.
ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಏನು ಖಾಸಗಿ ಕಂಪನಿಯವರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ತಕ್ಷಣವೇ ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಕೇಸ್ ದಾಖಲೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದರ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ ಅವರು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಕಳಪೆ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಕಾಮಗಾರಿ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟು ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ಹಣನ ರಿಕವರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಆಗ್ರಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
Predictably, the letter written by Biswas about 9 months back has now been put into cold storage, and there is no indication of any action being planned by the state government. The indifference of the incumbent Congress government led by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has irked the locals, who want strict action to be initiated against the private firm. The stony silence of the government has raised questions on whether the government and the firm in question are hand in glove. Will the government finally wake up and ensure that justice is done? Vasuraj Harnahalli, News9 Bellary.
And moving on now, in yet another tragic accident, a biker died on the spot after he rammed into an electric pole last night. The deceased has been identified as 26-year-old Likhin. The accident took place on Outer Ring Road near Doddanakundi. Likhin was heading towards Marathalli from KR Puram when he lost control of the bike and rammed into a pole and also a tree. The medical staff who came in an ambulance informed the police about the accident. A case has been registered at the KR Puram police station. And in the last 3 days, we have seen as many road accidents of motorists in Bengaluru. The latest one being reported of that of 26-year-old Likhin. We can see how he rammed into a pole and then into a tree. The damage on the tree speaks volumes about the impact of the collision. He was riding a scooty sort of a bike when he rammed into the tree and died on the spot. Police officials who were present called in the ambulance, but it was too late and Likhin could not be saved. His body has now been shifted to a nearby hospital where a post-mortem report could probably throw more light on what exactly transpired. Well, the mystery over the missing MH370 plane continues, but investigators seem to have come to new conclusions. Here's a report.
Even after 100 days, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 has not been found. The investigators, though, have come up with some findings. No severe damage to MH370 in the air. MH370 in controlled flight even after losing contact. Investigators also assumed that it was only after the plane ran out of fuel that it plunged into the Indian Ocean. The main evidence for the conclusion lies in the re-examination of Malaysian military radar data and his more detailed analysis of electronic handshakes or pings that the aircraft exchanged with an Inmarsat satellite over the equator. The altitude readings from the radar now appears to have been inaccurate. Though the investigators have come to this conclusion, they are however not ready to explain as to how the plane had been in controlled flight. A lot of assumptions were made regarding the altitude at which the flight was flying. Now a recent investigation has revealed that the primary information was not reliable. The new investigating team has started to search for the missing plane from the northeast of the Indian Ocean. It was then moved towards the southwest along the sea. Now that an all-new team has restarted the investigations, it has revived hopes that the missing plane might be found. But will the mysterious MH370 ever be found is what remains to be seen now. A News9 report.